All right. Hello, hello, and welcome to Rivals 1 Top 4 at Genesis X2. I'm Anti. I'm joined by the wonderful Ubel.
How's it going, everybody? We are here for Rivals of Aether Top 4. It's a very different characters, very different game flow, but when you have a muscle memory like that on deck, the tech on the cloud finds the neutral area to jump in, another tilt boost in order to find those down tilts. Clone spawns and is erased immediately. Absa usually never has trouble with Clone. It's Cape that can be a real problem for Absa. As Spyker has been trying to show up with a ton of F-Cape, not a ton of up-Cape though.
Ooh.
That was sick.
And there it is once again. We've said it once, we'll say it again. Spyker Classic just going to be the baby dash jabs into the tilt boost. Yeah, but either way, who cares about the classics? Still seeing something new with Soulrifle with an Akashi line of his own. Going to get parried, going to get sent off stage, and going to be in a rough position.
Oh, trying to send in these forward capes. Goes for the down tilt the wrong way. Boosted not far enough. Didn't see an up air as well from Soulrifle. Not committing to it. Excellent parry from Spyker, who's starting to build up these clouds. Another cloud parry is perfect. Building up to the full burst. Can we see the finish? Wanted the parry.
There it
Instead,
is.
we find fair combust, and that is a 2-stock for Spyker.
Yeah, and that's the thing about fighting against Spyker's Force Burn. You have to remember, Spyker loves playing grounded more than any other Force Burn player. It's a very different matchup. You can't really just build up that sort of matchup experience, and Soulrifle's used to playing Cake.
Yeah, very different styles for sure.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Soulrifle has been showing a very promising Absa, is what I'd say. Rockwall just going to cut that thought short.
Oh, good DI there from Spyker, though, in order to survive those small blast zones. Tries to come back on with the back air. We're seeing plenty of smoke erasure, but nothing quite hitting. All sour spots here, Anti.
All sours, but all fairs still going to come up huge there. 6% on Soulrifle. You could not ask for a more even start. Carry on Spyker's jab checks, but in the end, back air weak into back air strong is going to do just the job.
Should also keep in mind for those that are, as we see the down strong charged up, going to take the stock, charging up some smoke charges as well. For those that are not as familiar with Rivals 1 and only with its sequel, Force Burn recovery works different in this game, as you'll be seeing a lot of teleporting into smoke. It gives Force Burn his jump back in Rivals of Aether 1 if spent.
Only one time.
But only once. So you're seeing a lot of that being flexed from Spyker, and hence we're seeing Soulrifle not give him the chance on that recovery route, going right out there, no spawning smoke. Instead, you're going right off the top.
All right, and here we are, potential final stock for Soulrifle and Spyker in this set, but Spyker needs to get more than just a stock, needs to get another game, and that's certainly going to be the kill. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, some good DI, throwing off Soulrifle just a little bit as he teleports to the other side. There's so much smoke, but he just can't get in these openings. We're seeing, wow, what a weird trade.
Yeah, reverse hit coming in clutch, and another checkmate spacing for the parry up strong. Soulrifle going to be moving on to winner side grands.
Maple being able to confirm out of tether a lot more reliably and a lot more flexibly puts elkies in a very, very strong position right off the jump, because you can instantly and reliably find these marks. That's what these downward dashes are doing. That's what the seed toss is doing.
Oh, baby. Hello. And one thing also to note, this game is the home of Elki's favorite thing, Tether Reseed, and we see it already. And I say favorite thing, Tether Reseed, likely her favorite tether option, but that's not what we know her for. It's for those rewraps.
Evening up the game, the stock count.
Yeah, I would say these two players are the epitome of players who actively play against the other person, not just their characters. Akashi just always looks for the moment that you're caught slacking a single time, goes for a fully charged Thunderline in neutral. Elkies, on the other hand, you know, the type to say, all right, I'm just
type of a trapping game plan with Cloud. There's not as much like extravagant movement or extra goings on. Not trying to waste any frames.
Yeah, meanwhile, Elkies wasting no time to even up that stock count. Akashi and Elkies still going toe-to-toe, and oh boy, here we go.
Oh, that nice tech roll away on the platform there. Trying to get away from any of these situations. The Akashi line gets Akashi out of a dangerous spot, trying to put out a forward strong, but got interrupted there. Elkies with a chance to open things up, but zipped right through, and now the opportunity, setting up the bomb. Forward air, no sweet spot though, as Akashi looks to try and make a read instead of commit to any further offense.
Yeah, even zip straight to the stage just to make sure that there's no chance of dying. But right there, Akashi just barely missing out on these potential confirms there. Lily just doing so much work in making it terrifying.
Wow, still surviving even after that forward strong, but the down strong wraps it up at Galaxies.
Fool's Veil, honestly, one of the better stages to choose in this position, largely because you don't have so much of those small platforms that elkies can just place that Lily on.
Yeah, the moving platforms are going to make it really tough for both sides to like pick and hold a position.
My God.
Hello? Triple down air into the down strong. It doesn't close out the stock, but elkies is starting to really put together the pieces of the puzzle, looking for the final hit, and she finds it on the Akashi line, getting punished. Who's seen
the
that
Maple Dare? Just change it all up and keep the momentum going. One parry to start things off, and Akashi is not enjoying this one.
Now put really far behind the 8-ball, but you find that up air, getting caught by Maple down air again. Akashi just not able to hold position. Elki finding so many ways to get Akashi off the spot and punish the movement after.
Oh!
Okay.
Yeah, instead tries to go for something a little bit cheeky, knowing that it's not going to purple just yet, but Akashi still very much in this. If there is an Absa who can do it, he's one of the few.
Yeah, just trying to put together something here. The forward strong was a little ambitious, but the roll in the corner, that rivals one spot dodge getting how well can Spyker deal with things like down tilt or dash attack, and how well can elkies deal with baby dash jab into tilt boost down tilt?
Yeah, I mean, that's the usual option for Spyker, but right now, it's neither here nor there. Just some charge on that up strong and checkmate on that tether.
Tilt boosting that down tilt yet again, catching with a cape, but not close enough to get the down tilt as the parry attempt is red.
Yeah, but right now, elkies, no!
Setting Lily up on the platform and trying to find an opening, but another cape into forward strong. Lily comes in for the save, giving elkies an opening.
Yeah, elkies right now with these back airs has Spyker off stage one wrap and goes for yet another reseed. We haven't seen any of these re-wrap combos that elkies is so well known for, but at the very least, she's not out of this just yet.
Oh, the roll-in gets caught by the forward strong. We're seeing a Spyker start to chase a little bit. We're putting out the clone. We're starting to absorb some smoke. Try and put any X factor online here as elkies continues to move. Dangerous recovery route, but she makes it back in time as well. She gets an opening against Spyker and takes it all the way to the top.
But either way, it is going to be the merchant port choice, which honestly a little bit interesting into the Maple. But right now, Spyker knows that these side platforms are going to be so good for these extensions.
All right, I popped off a little bit because elkies just had a soul read on where Spyker was in that smoke and found him. And then Spyker immediately responded with like 98% combo without much of a worry, and takes the stock after all of that damage. Parry on it immediately. elkies playing around these platforms, trying to feint anything, forcing the smoke to get away. Here's the forward strong and the down strong immediately after. elkies paying off to the fact that she's being so hard to hit and not trying to push the initiative until the opportunity was there, but the parry gets spotted and Spyker evens up a stock count.
Yeah, you see both of these players just playing off of these tiny, tiny margins. elkies, if she had gotten that F-Strong a frame later, it wouldn't have wrapped. Meanwhile, Spyker, if he hadn't gone for that dash dance, wouldn't have gotten that down strong. But just like that, back and forth, 86% on the force burn. But can it turn into an actual kill? Looking like it.
Yes, it can.
We're seeing the reseeds start to get, mashed out of by Spyker. But my big question here, Ubel, is when is elkies going to, pull the trigger on all of this conditioning?
Yeah, it might be a little bit later, as that up there is, going to eventually take her off the top.
Now in a very good spot. elkies going off stage, not going to get tagged by that down air, but the fully completed F-Strong. This is one of those things that we've been seeing from these Force players coming back into Rivals 1. They realize, wait, Force F-Strong's honestly not bad.
Yeah, it creates its own DI mix-up, right? Because everyone's expecting a F-cape into down tilt or F-cape into up tilt, like these extensions, the tilt cancels, so the combo starters. So if you're DIing out for force burn, well, that's where FK's actual strong attack could come into play. Unfortunately, that requires you to be winning neutral, which is something that Spyker is just not doing.
Yeah, and elkiies going to continue the trend of the rematch revenge, but they hug it out behind the Red Bull cave. elkiies right now starting things off with quite a bit of damage onto Soulrifle, but one parry onto Lily to start things off. And Soulrifle really the first player to prioritize the Lily parries over the positioning.
Ooh.
Oh my god, you there with that Thunder Line, but in the end, the forward air is going to even up that stock count.
Keeping things as steady and consistent as possible as we see another Nair comes in. Final stock of peace here as Soulrifle goes yet again, setting up for all of the abs combos and utility with the cloud into the forward air, but missed the sweet spot forward air on the second one.
Yeah, all the marbles involved, but it's not quite working out. Back air going to be sending elkiies off stage and into yet another blender, but it just takes one opening, one opportunity, and elkiies now still surviving.
Wow. Shot out of a cannonball after that forward tilt. Avoided the thunder line and found the opening. Dashes in order to remark. Looks for the tether, but barely misses the wrap on that down strong. And Soulrifle seals the fate of game number
Maple
one.
Player in his own regard. Honestly, arguably the best Maple player. I'm not sure this actually even arguable. He is just straight up the best Maple player. But that being said, your own play style can sometimes work against you. You decide, all right, this is what I'm going to expect. This is what I'm going to see. And elkiies just goes for something completely different.
That little changeup can matter a whole bunch here, Anti, because we're seeing just elkiies' reckless abandon and full frontal force of offense kind of throwing Soulrifle for a loop. He's forced to constantly try to play back, especially on a stage like Air Armada, which doesn't have a ton of ways to get around the sheer aggression that elkiies is showing off here.
Air?
Finally finding an opening and sealing it for the stock, but you're down to stock and up 90% already. Slowly chipping away at this percent mark, knowing that one forward air ought to do it, and the cloud hitbox expansions are certainly help with that. elkiies takes the brave route, but chooses to pivot to forward air. Again, Soulrifle did that a couple times. The first time, it didn't close out the stock. The second time, however, elkiies expected the up air, gets hit by forward air, and the DI completely wrong.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Soulrifle might be off stage, but after all of these chips, looking to cash out there. elkiies in a lot of damage, taking one more dash attack, and off stage is far from where you want to be.
Big forward air coming down here. Soulrifle trying to end the set, especially with that up tilt, but it gets the wrong hit of it. Trunk comes down with the sour spot of up air. elkiies still fighting away, looking for the remarks, throwing those cookies, throwing those marks. Swinging away with these jabs, but we're ping-ponging back and forth between the cloud, the up air whiffs, the other up air whiffs, and elkiies gets an opportunity to close out a stock, and she finds it.
With the back air of all things, but forward tilt into up air. The thumbs up from Soulrifle. Big smile on that man's face. Yeah. And the jump into the pop. hey, chill. Don't break the stage. Yeah. SBS there to make sure we're not getting anything too crazy going on, but there it is, the 3-0 for Soulrifle over elkiies. Congratulations to your Rivals 1 champion at Genesis X2.